How did an English story help you in your life? When I first started learning English, I never thought it could change my life. To me, it was just another subject, something to pass exams and forget about later. I grew up in a small town where no one spoke English. We thought English belonged to smart people or those who traveled abroad. One day, I found an old English book called The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. The cover was faded, and I barely understood the words, but curiosity made me read the first page. That day was the beginning of something new, a new beginning. At first, reading was painful. Every sentence had new words, and I spent more time with a dictionary than the story itself. I almost gave up, but Tom's adventures were too interesting to stop. Slowly, I began to understand. I laughed when he tricked his friends into painting the fence, and I felt his fear when he got lost in the cave. That story made me realize something powerful. English wasn't just a school subject. It was a doorway to feelings, dreams, and a world much bigger than mine. Discovering a bigger world. After finishing Tom Sawyer, I started reading one English story each week. Fairy tales, short moral stories, simple novels. I read whatever I could find. Every story taught me new words, but more importantly, it taught me how to think in English. Through these stories, I traveled the world without leaving my room. I flew with Peter Pan, sat in Hogwarts with Harry Potter, and learned kindness from the Little Prince. The more I read, the more confident I became. My speaking and writing improved naturally. But something deeper happened too. I started to understand people better. Stories showed me courage, love, loss, and hope through different cultures. English became a bridge, not just a language. The challenge of learning. There were times I wanted to quit. Some stories were too hard. Some words made no sense. I used to get frustrated and doubt myself. But every time I finished one story, I felt a little stronger. I began keeping a notebook where I wrote down new words and short reflections. It wasn't just about language anymore. It was about growth. The habit of reading every night changed how I saw myself. The story that changed everything, one story that touched my heart forever, was The Last Leaf by O. Henry. It's about a sick girl who believes she will die when the last leaf falls from the vine outside her window. But an old artist paints a leaf on the wall to give her hope, and that hope saves her. I cried after reading it. I realized that stories carry life lessons, not just grammar. That one story taught me the meaning of faith and kindness more deeply than any lecture could. From reader to storyteller. By the time I reached college, English had become my passion. I chose to study English literature, something I never imagined before. Reading led me to writing my own short stories in English. They were simple at first, full of mistakes, but they were mine. One day, my teacher read my story aloud in class. She said, "This story has heart." That was the moment I realized English wasn't foreign anymore. It had become part of me. After graduation, I started a small YouTube channel called English Story Every Day. I shared the same stories that once helped me: slow readings, explanations, and life lessons. At first, only a few people watched, but slowly, comments began to appear. "Your video helped me understand English better." "This story made me cry." "Now I read every day too." Each comment reminded me of my own journey. I wasn't just sharing stories. I was helping others find their hope. What I learned reading English stories taught me much more than language. It shaped who I am today. Here's what I learned. 1. Patience matters. Understanding comes slowly, but every page counts. 2. Stories connect hearts. You can feel the world through another person's words. 3. Practice builds confidence. One page a day becomes a lifelong habit. 4. Hope inspires growth. Just like the girl in the last leaf, belief keeps us alive. 5. Language opens doors. English connected me to people and opportunities I never imagined. A new voice. Now, whenever someone asks me, "How did an English story help you in your life?" I smile and say, "It gave me a voice. It helped me express feelings I couldn't before. It gave me courage to speak in public, to write my thoughts, and to dream in a language that once scared me." English stories became my best teachers. They taught me not only words, but wisdom, to see the world through empathy and imagination. Even today, I still read one English story every night before bed. Sometimes short, sometimes long, but always meaningful. Because I believe that every story, no matter how small, leaves a piece of light inside you. So, if you ever feel stuck or afraid of English, start with one story. Don't worry about mistakes or hard words.